Austin XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome in, guys, along for the ride on this final day of the week. We get set for another preseason affair in the Big Easy. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carlyon, JJ LaSalva with you. Got a little bit of a cold. Not terrible cold, just a little cold.
That's a bummer.
It's a bummer. And listen, it's hard to believe that with my cute little pug nose, the whole cold can jump in there. But it can, so I got a little bit of a cold. We'll get through it. But I'm looking forward to a game.
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I've got more quills in me right now.
Yeah?
Buddy, I got the night quill, the day quill, the medium quill, the afternoon quill.
You got the bourbon quill?
The morning quill. Yeah, the bourbon quill's coming then. I am quilled up, okay? JJ, you a big night quill guy? Night quill when you feel?
I mean, not just recreationally, but yes. When I am sick, I love NyQuil. There's nothing better than a NyQuil.
Do you drink it or snort it?
Yeah, I love the NyQuil.
Inject it.
NyQuil's the greatest thing of all time. I have just been.
It's the perfect drug.
So my wife was traveling. And I said, I got a little bit of a cold, so I got the NyQuil going. She said, you need to get little cups. I said, I don't need cups, okay? Yeah. I need the bottle. Yeah. You give me the bottle. What am I going to do with a little cup?
Yeah. Okay? What am I, 8 years old?
I'm good. So a little bit of a cold going today. But we got a lot to do with the program today as we get set for a preseason game. Jags and the Saints. You'll hear it right here on our radio station. Jeff Lagerman, I'll have the call for you, along with Kai Stevens. That comes up at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we're all kind of excited about preseason game number 2.
45 hours from right now, the Jaguars will have a 14-0 lead.
How about that? So,
opening return kickoff for a touchdown.
Love it.
And then a Tyler Shuck pick six.
Love that. You know what?
To Jarian Jones.
I love where you are. Liam Cohen has not said yet whether the starters will play. He said that, and I'll say this about Liam, and I do believe this about him. I don't think he's this game player. You don't gain any strategy by holding out information you have.
No, he doesn't know.
Right. If he's an honest guy, I mean, there's nothing to be gained by, well, I'm going to play him, but I'm not telling anybody. When he decides he's going to play him, he'll tell everybody. And if he's not playing him, he'll tell everybody that. I'm pretty convinced of that.
It sounds like it's more of a medical thing than anything else. It sounds like I'm planning on playing them.
Right.
But if I'm down, 2 or 3 offensive linemen,
that's right.
Then I've got to wrestle with, is it worth putting our other guys out there if we're not at full strength? And so it sounds like he'd like to play him, but a lot of it's going to depend on the medical input that he gets in the next 24 hours.
I was not out there today nursing a little bit of this cold, but it was just a walkthrough.
I wasn't out there.
Yeah, but Liam did speak afterwards. And
I'm healthy.
Yeah, but in fairness to Hayes, he had a pretty big event today. So you had a client event today. So even though you're trying to make it sound like you're a slacker, I'll cover for you here. So
thank you to Harold and Harold for having me on.
Hayes had a pretty big client event with our friends from Harold and Harold today. So, but no, nonetheless, I do believe that they're going to play. My guess is, and again, he doesn't know, but my guess is somehow, some way, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby and the receivers, maybe not Travis Hunter because he's dealing with a little something apparently, but I think for the most part you'll see at least a cameo by the starters. And again, I don't have any inside information. I'm guessing, and I think Liam was being honest when he said he doesn't know yet, but my guess is that's where it will land.
And look, this is what I would say to Liam. There's no shame. There's nothing wrong with playing one side and not playing the other. The defense needs to go out there. I mean, whoever is healthy on defense, they need to get out there and show that they can not allow 17 yards of cushion on every passing down that they see. So, I could see it from offensively. I'm not going to play Trevor Lawrence because our offensive line is dealing with some injuries, and I don't want to put him out there and risk him getting hit and injured. That makes total sense. There's no reason not to play the defensive guys. I mean, at all. I mean, offensively, you can at least say, the first unit looked fine against Pittsburgh. They had some pre-snap things, but they overcame it, got a field goal. They scored to start the game. All right, that's fine. Defensively is where they've got to show that they can line up. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with if he does. Usually you don't see it. Usually it's across the board. Either you're playing guys or you're not playing guys. But in this instance, I don't think there's anything wrong with not playing your starters on offense and playing your starters on defense.
It'll be interesting to see where it plays. My guess is they all play, but we'll see. He will, and my guess is we will know that before Sunday. Again, he's been pretty transparent about that, so we'll see kind of where that is. We do have a big story developing. I need some advice. Do you mind giving advice?
I'll try.
So I'm watching now. Apparently Taylor had this on. The Pirates playing the Cubs.
Oh, wow.
The Pirates lead the Cubs 2-1. Okay? Stay with me on this, JJ. It's the Pirates 2. They're in the bottom of 7. Okay? My guess is the Cubs win this thing 7-2.
Oh, wow.
So do I go talk trash to Taylor Dahl now?
Yes.
While I have the lead? JJ, what are your thoughts on that? You got to go.
Absolutely.
You got to go right now. No, I mean, the minute we go to break, I got to go back to Taylor's office
and talk trash
before the 7-2 final, right?
I would say that's what I would advise.
Cubs will be in the World Series. Pirates will lose 100 games, but right now it's 2-1.
Yeah.
So that's what you got. You got. Listen, it's all about opportunities.
That's right.
Okay, life's about opportunities.
By the way, I didn't want to tell you I told you so about the Cubs.
Yeah.
But it's looking that way.
Yeah, they're starting to fade, aren't they? Fading a little bit.
The Brewers still have that 12-game streak.
Dude,
going to Cincinnati
nobody's catching
tonight.
them.
And just watching them, they know how to play.
Yeah.
They know how to play, and they they really do. So they will be a fun story. They will be.
That's who I'm pulling for.
Yeah, they're same. Even though they're in the division,
Oh yeah,
that would be a really fun story if all the Milwaukee Brewers with one of the. By the way, are they the second smallest market in baseball, or they're among the smallest markets in baseball? If not the smallest, they're right there, right? JJ, I think they're.
I'm not sure.
They're one of the smaller markets. I can tell you that.
Tampa, or I don't know how that works.
No, Tampa's not a small market. He's just cheap. But Milwaukee's a small market. So I'll look it up. But I mean, it's one of the smaller markets, I think.
Certainly.
Yes.
But I will say though, it feels like they've had sports forever there.
Yeah, you're right. But I do think it's one of the small. I can tell you this: it's significantly smaller than Pittsburgh, and their payroll's 30, 40 million higher.
See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, it is. It's a smaller market than Pittsburgh. So we'll certainly. I got to go take my moments when I can. I'm not going to start with the Jaguars today. We'll get to the Jags. We're going to do headlines at the bottom of the hour. Pete Prisco in the 5 o'clock hour. Michigan, it now is official. Just go ahead and cheat.
Right.
Now it's never been more clear. Just cheat.
Particularly if your head coach is older.
Yeah, I mean, they got no postseason. They got no scholarship limitations. Nobody gets TV anymore. They got $20 million. Well, they got a booster a little pay. That probably is paid by now.
Well, and winning the national title paid for that 10 times over. So exposure.
Just cheat. I mean, the NCAA made a big deal of the fact that Harbaugh got the 10-year show cause on the heels of the 4-year show cause he's currently serving. Like he cares. Yeah. Like the Stallions guy, no one was hiring him anyway. So I think he got a 100-year show cause. Sharon Moore is going to get suspended for a couple games.
Right.
I think
Western Michigan, next year.
Western Michigan, AT&T Tech.
Yeah, in Dublin. So he's like, okay, good. I don't have to fly
I'll stay
over
here.
there.
Right. So I mean, it's never been more clear. Cheat.
Without a doubt. And I especially think if your coach, it's hard for like the Mike Norvell, Billy Napier, Mario Cristobal, Kirby Smart to go cheat because they're young enough men that they still want to do this.
The show cause would affect them
for 15 or 20 years. But if does Kirk Ferentz still coach at Iowa? I think he does.
He's about 100, yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm Kirk Ferentz and I see this, I am breaking every rule imaginable. Yeah. Because it's probably the only way I'm going to elevate a good program to a championship program. And because the TV deals have gotten so big, the TV, they won't allow you to penalize a team for postseason or for TV because the dollars are too big. You know, no one in the playoff wants to just exclude Michigan right off the bat and say, well, we know they're not eligible. So you're not going to have that. And it's all NIL. Now, yeah, I mean, if you're a young man, you shouldn't cheat because you've got your whole career ahead of you. But if you're a peer of Jim Harbaugh's, it's almost like shame on you if you're not cheating.
So we will talk more about that as we continue on. We'll take a break, and then we will talk some. By the way, space is loaded, nobody out. I got to get down there.
Yeah,
I got to go now. We'll take a break. We'll talk college football after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet. But did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnik today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. But when you go to Nimnik, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnik today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnik.
You want to know more about your favorite football team.
That's right.
And John Osher delivers because O knows. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on 1010XL.
Upgrade her diamond ring this summer with no money down and zero interest for 5 years. Don't miss this killer offer from Beard's Diamonds. 5 years, zero interest financing till the year 2030. Not just on engagement rings, also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Buy now and pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to just $85 a month. Beard's Diamonds is Jacksonville's locally owned source for exquisite jewelry. We can do things the big corporate jewelers can only dream of, like lowering interest rates all the way down to zero. All GIA certified diamonds are included in this. Rounds, princess cuts, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Get the Beard's Diamonds unbeatable price. Pay zero down and spread your payments over 5 years. But hurry, this is a limited time offer that ends August 31st and will not be extended. Beard's Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's glass.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Yeah, I've told you this before. Hayes Carline from the Bowl School. For a guy who's 12 or however old JJ is, he's got a good ear.
He does.
A good ear for a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, when he hits puberty, it's going to be really good. But you have a good ear. You said it's your dad, right? Your dad gets credit for this? Your dad
Yes. I can't accept me just being a great music lover. I have to give him total credit for that.
Well, Dad LaSelva's got a good ear, and I've not met him, but I can say
BTO.
Yeah, I can say I love BTO. I'll get to the Jags in a second, and we got headlines coming up at the bottom of the hour. But I was shocked they didn't get a postseason ban. I mean, it's clear now, if you look at the Michigan investigation, which now has been made public, it's clear that this guy, Connor Stallions, in 13 different games, either scouted or had somebody scout the opponents on sidelines, in press boxes. He even wrote a guide how to steal signs. Did you see that part? Yeah. He wrote a guide. He wrote a guide on how to steal signs.
Mm-hmm. How to cheat for dummies.
Yeah, right. And so it's clear he did it. Harbaugh refused to meet with the NCAA, refused to turn over his text messages.
That's so great.
Sharon Moore at least deleted his and lied. Sharon Moore deleted his and lied, and then came and said it was a storage issue, and then came back and said, nah, I lied. That's what he did. Harbaugh just, no, he can't have him. Well, no, we got to have him. No, he can't have him. I mean, what, are you going to fight him? I mean, were they going to have to fight? You don't have.
They've never had subpoena.
They don't have subpoena power, so he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
So he just said, no, Jim, you got to. No, I don't. Jim, give me your. No. I mean, I
got to wear khakis and coach Justin Herbert. That's all I have to do.
I've got this vision of in Harbaugh's office, this NCAA investigator going, give it to me, and Harbaugh holding it back here. No,
Right.
no, and don't. That's what happens.
Is this your homework, Larry?
Yeah, I mean, it just is. So Harbaugh just pretty much said, no, you can't have it. And Sharon Moore lied, and Connor Stallions lied, and they killed, and Harbaugh refused to talk. Well, Jim, we have to interview. No, I'm not going to talk to you. Did you see that?
It's great.
Jim, we have to interview you. The NCAA wants to interview you. His compliance department said, Jim, the NCAA has to schedule an interview with you. And Jim Harbaugh said, no.
I hope he said
I've never seen anything like this.
It's amazing. I hope he set it up like Kramer did with the cable guy in Seinfeld, where he kept scheduling the cable guy to come to his house and then wouldn't be home.
Right.
And the cable guy had to stalk him throughout New York.
I remember that. But I mean, it's just, it cracked me up that Jim Harbaugh, your compliance guy says, Jim, we have to set up a meeting this is serious stuff between you and the NCAA. And Jim Harbaugh, the head football coach at the University of Michigan, said, no. Does that shock you? I laughed my way through this story today.
Yeah, did you? Oh, without a doubt. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, why would he comply with it? He knows he obviously
right. He obviously did it. Right. That's right.
And he knew that he was never coming back to Michigan.
Right. That's right.
So, I mean, he's like, look, I got my national title. I'm coaching Justin Herbert. I'm out. And he doesn't care about a show cause. And again, I don't know if you're a coach, like if you're Kyle Whittingham and you've got maybe 1 or 2 years left by your own admission, or you're Kirk Ferentz, or name an older coach at a program that if they really started to blatantly cheat, blatantly cheating is going to elevate you at least a tier. So if you're a program like a Utah or an Iowa, and you're a tier 2 program where, when you're at your best, you can put up a really good season. Well, if you start blatantly cheating,
right.
I mean, you might go win a national title.
How does the NCAA not say, okay, you at least have a postseason ban for this year? You can't go to a bowl. Yeah. Well, they were asked that, and they said, well, that would penalize students who had nothing to do with it. Well, News Bulletin, that's only happened for 100 years.
Right.
I mean,
and they can leave.
Yeah, I mean,
if it means that much to them, transfer.
In 1990, the University of Florida won the SEC. Had never won it before. Had never been able to keep it before. And the NCAA and the SEC went back and said, no, a child support payment from Galen Hall to Jarvis Williams in 1987 was proved to be true, and you're ineligible for the postseason in 1990. Nobody was on the team.
Yeah.
From 1987. Do you remember that?
I do.
And they said you have to be kidding. And so, and I understand things change, but you do have to set a precedent. And listen, I never root for the NCAA in any of these, and I never will. But I can't imagine. They pretty much just said today, go ahead and cheat. We'll keep the coach from coaching, but you can cheat all you want. And by the way, not that it mattered, they didn't even forfeit wins. Did you know that? They didn't even go back. They didn't even go back. And I don't even know if forfeit wins really matters, because if you want it, you want it.
But at least it's
off the record book.
At least it's something. The other thing, I keep bringing up Whittingham and Kirk Ferentz. The guy that should be cheating is Belichick.
Yeah, cheat like a son of a gun. Yeah.
If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm directing everybody to cheat. And he may not be that uncomfortable with it anyway, based on his Patriots tenure. But, I mean, if you're Bill Belichick, and I'm in my 70s, and I'm hopeful to get back to the NFL. I know I'm not coaching here more than just a couple of years at best. So go spend whatever you can spend. Bring prospects to campus in dead periods. I don't care. There's no such thing. If I was Bill Belichick, I'd have a meeting with my staff today, and I'd say, from now on, the phrase dead period does not exist in Chapel Hill, because we are going to be contacting these prospects even more during the dead periods. And we'll get caught one day.
Right.
And, by that point, hopefully I'll be coaching the Cowboys.
And we get our $20 million fine.
Right.
Jordan will pay it.
Correct. Jordan will pay it.
Right.
And we'll have won something of consequence, which has never happened here. and everyone will be happy.
Yeah. So realistically, this whole thing is comical. I expected, and because there was a build up to it, and we all heard it was coming today, I kind of said, okay, I'm curious now. I'm curious where they will go with this. I'm going to pay attention to see where it lands. In a trillion years, I never thought where it would land is no postseason sanctions, obviously no television, no scholarship sanctions, a fine. Now it's a big ass fine, but it's Michigan. Right. Okay. So it's a Tom Brady might pay it if Jordan doesn't pay it, or Jordan doesn't pay UNC.
Madonna could pay it. She went to Michigan.
So it's a big fine, but who cares? And the team gets away with all of it. And by the way, I now do wonder, it must have really helped. I mean, obviously this is before
question.
I mean, back in college football is all about, it's not anymore because now they have the audio system that the NFL has. But up until a year or two ago, college football was all about the signs. And I can tell you, it's legal to steal signs. And you just can't advance scout.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, I know people on football staffs that I know which grad assistant was in charge of trying to steal the sign. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Trying to decipher, they hold up the cards, the placards, trying to decide what the turkey and the pool table meant.
Right.
I know people who were in charge. I'm telling you,
without a doubt.
I know people who were in charge of trying to figure out what the turkey, the pool table, and the rattlesnake meant.
Yes.
Okay. But you can't go out. You can't get ahead and do it. And so.
And remember the narrative with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He was treading water.
Right.
He was not making a big impact. And there were questions about, should they extend him? Harbaugh's on the hot seat. Why can't he get it done? He can't beat Ohio State. And then he started cheating. And he's a national champion. And no one will ever take that away from him. I mean, the NCAA didn't take it away from him. And now he's in LA with a franchise quarterback and a playoff team and, pays no consequence. But I mean, it's not like Jim Harbaugh showed up at Michigan and immediately started winning 11 and 12 games and beating Ohio State.
That's correct.
He did have to cheat, obviously, to get them over the hump. And again, it's just such a poor message. Again, at the end of the day, you know how I feel about it. They should have no rules in this. There should be no cap. You should be able to, if a school wants to pay a kid $125 million to play quarterback, they should be able to do it. And it should be just do whatever you want. Run amok. If you want the no dead period, contact these players whenever you want, pay them whatever you want, and may the best team win. But if you're going to have a structure of rules in place, then you can't have it get exposed for being such a farce as this is obviously a farce. And again, this will do nothing but encourage older coaches who know they've only got a few years left to cheat every which way they can and try and bring a title back. Because at the end of the day, Michigan fans don't care about any of this today. You know what they're doing? They're rewatching the national championship win. They're rewatching the win over Ohio State. Right. They're reliving those moments. They don't care about the fine. I mean, it's preposterous.
Now, let me ask you this. Florio wrote, and again, I always preface it when it's Florio because he tries to throw stuff out there that gets people all excited, even if it's not true. But he suggested that the NFL might or could take action.
It's ridiculous.
Well, not only I agree with you.
Yeah,
but he did right.
And it's worth it's again,
suspension.
It's worth bringing up. But the NFL has never shown any interest in penalizing coaches for something that they did in college.
Let me read this quote from his story. I agree with you, by the way. In the past, this is from Florio's post today after it was announced. In the past, the NFL has taken action against both a player, quote, Terrell Pryor, and a coach, quote, Jim Tressel, who had run afoul of NCAA rules. From the October 2023 NFL.com article, quote, and the point was made, no one should escape discipline by leaving college for the pros. I don't remember that.
Well, Jim Tressel was like, he's really stretching there. Jim Tressel was literally like the timeouts guy for the Colts one season, I think under Pagano.
Yeah, he wasn't really.
Like, that was it. He wasn't even like an assistant.
And Terrell
certainly
Pryor
wasn't a head coach. Yeah, and Terrell Pryor, again, that's one of those that had it happen now, it wouldn't have even been a story. He got some free tattoos.
Yeah.
And, everybody acted like, all right, not everybody, but a lot of people acted like it was the greatest scandal in college sports history. So, I mean, the Terrell Pryor, I remember, and is somewhat valid if you wanted to try and make it a player, but a coach of significance has never been penalized at the NFL level for something that they did in college.
Yeah, so for me, I'll say it again, I'm just astounded. I don't care. In fact, college football's better when Michigan's in the hunt. It's a better sport. Man, I don't think they're going to be any good this year, but I'm saying if they are, if Bryce Underwood's good and if they're good, college football's better when Michigan's pretty good. Today's announcement said, whatever, go ahead and cheat. That's what it said.
Right.
Interesting stuff. Let's talk some Jaguars football after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Big number one Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service-first experience. Big number one Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. You won't want to miss this Saturday at Showtime with our monthly card show. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You'll have tons of options, especially with football and baseball cards. It's a fun day at our monthly card show this Saturday from 9 to 4 at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Leonard Skinner is coming home, and they're bringing the Stars and Stripes. Celebrate Southern rock and American pride with Leonard Skinner Rocks the Red, White, and Blue. It's a special night to support St. Michael's soldiers and the brave men and women of our armed forces. Saturday, November 8th at Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now, only at Ticketmaster. Daly'sPlace.com for details. Be there when Skinner rocks for those who serve.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Lauren Brooks here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they are opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business that they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Let's get the work done. Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Liam Cohen and his staff have to solidify this offensive line by Monday afternoon. It's fine to get through this New Orleans game on Sunday, but starting next week as they prepare to go to Miami for the joint practice and they get now within 3 weeks of the opener, you've got to pick your 5. At least pick 5 to start. If you want to change that once you get into the season, if things aren't working, then you can amend it then. But I don't think you're going to have any chance of being functional as an offensive line with your 5 unless they have a couple of weeks to practice together and get all the reps with the ones. I understand it's kind of a good problem. They've got probably 7 capable guys for 5 spots. And yes, there's going to be a couple guys that are disappointed, but I think for the sake of the offense and finding a rhythm and a groove when Carolina comes in here, you can use this game against the Saints as the final data piece, but you've got to go ahead and pick that starting offensive line going into the Miami week.
I'll be interested to see where it lands whenever they pick it. Will it be Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCary, and Anton Harrison? I'm now of the opinion, and you've had this opinion for a while. I guess I'm joining you late. I think it won't be that. I think something will, I'm not sure what it will be. I don't know if Chuma Edoga gets in it because he's been so good. I don't know if there's a guy or two that haven't been as good, and then maybe an expected starter all of a sudden isn't a starter. But I do, Hayes. I think the 2 I feel the most comfortable with, Ezra Cleveland, left guard, who I wasn't sure before the season, but has had a fantastic camp. You made the point about watching Tony Baselli, and he visit after the scrimmage. But he's had a fantastic camp. So I think Ezra Cleveland is going to be their left guard. I think Robert Hainsey's their center. I don't think there's much debate about that. The other spots could be in flux. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. I say in flux. I don't know how much flux, but I think the other spots are not laydowns. I think Walker Little could hold left tackle. He could lose it. Anton Harrison could hold right tackle. He could lose it. Patrick McCary could be the right guard, or Edoga could play right guard. And to your point, McCary could bounce outside. I think there's a lot of, again, Cleveland, I think, will be their left guard. Hainsey will be their center. And I think all the other stuff is up for grabs. It's probably too aggressive, but still in play.
Well, and the thing that's interesting is I agree with you on Cleveland and Hainsey. So now we've got 3 spots. We know McCary is getting one of the 3. They signed him to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract with a $10 million signing bonus and guaranteed him $22.5 million on this deal. There's no chance he's not starting. So it's just,
and he's a good player.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact that they owe much money.
He is a good player.
Yeah.
But this is where the contract states.
Right.
I mean, he was their most expensive free agent.
Right.
And he's done nothing to lose a job.
Right. He's a good player, and he's a good player.
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, so McCary has got to play somewhere. So to me, it's the first step for them is where are you going to play him? I think they'd be better off playing McCary at right tackle and moving Anton Harrison to left tackle. But if they decide that McCary is going to be the right guard, then I think Edoga is just out. He's not a starter. And then you would go with your incumbent tackles. But that's where I think the dilemma sort of comes from. Is really Walker Little. Like, has he done enough? He's never won a job in training camp as a Jaguar, and I don't think he's done much to win this job. So, I mean, at some point, if it's about the guys that have earned the spot, I don't know how you can include him in the 5.
That's the only spot on offense where I think there's some debate. There is debate at the running back spot, but I think all 4 will be on the football team. It'll be interesting to see the way they go about that, and that's a different conversation because at running back, you move guys around anyway. One guy's your downhill runner. One guy's your third down guy. Young guys kind of develop and the roles change. So I think running back's a little bit of a different situation. So I get that. But offensive line is the one on offense. On defense, and I really hope we get an opportunity to see something this weekend, defensive tackle is the glaring question for me. I'm not sure who the will linebacker is. It's been Devin Lloyd. I said even before camp. Before camp even got here, I thought they'd move him to Sam. Well, they did. I was wrong about that. They did not move him to Sam. But one of the reasons I thought they would move him to Sam is because I thought Ventrell Miller would beat him out. And so I don't know, but I think will linebacker, that's a question for me. What they do at that other cornerback spot, if Travis Hunter is not a starter on both sides, Is it? There's no doubt in base. In base, it's Tyson Campbell on one side and Jordan Lewis on the other. He's been fantastic. That's an easy decision. But in nickel, when Jordan Lewis moves inside, is it Jarian Jones? Is it they liked what Monterey Brown gave him and they think he'll be back by the season? Is it him? Is it Travis Hunter? So we'll see what they. So I think that you made a point. Christian Braswell hadn't been bad. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. But despite all of that, defensive tackle. Somebody needs on Sunday, no matter which starters play, no matter who plays it, someone needs to flash at that spot. More than any, in my opinion, more than any position on the team, somebody needs to flash at D-tackle.
Without a doubt. I mean, to hear Liam Cohen talk about Mason Smith today, he's not close. I mean, he's like, Liam was like, we have to see Mason practice a lot.
That's right.
Before, we feel comfortable with him. He's a second-year player. And so he doesn't seem overly close. It's good that he's now backing off a pup, but you're kind of starting the clock on him is maybe July 26th, and we'll look. Well, I mean that's concerning when we're now in the middle of August. So if he's got, if that's how they're viewing it, that it seems like with Armstead they're a little more comfortable with him not needing as much work to have a big role week one. But yeah, I mean it's gotten to the point where somebody has got to show something.
We'll see what happens. Saints and Jags, 1 o'clock on Sunday. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jaguars football lives here. Next up, the New Orleans Saints. Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL.
Oh, interest rates. They're high everywhere, aren't they? Not at Beard's Diamonds. Right now, they've lowered finance rates all the way down to 0. Hey, Hicken here. That's right. Now Beard's Diamonds pays 0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. So that $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. Man, this amazing offer makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, $100 a month? How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings? $50 a month. It's insane. Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let the non-commissioned experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. I'm talking Beards Diamonds. I'm talking in the St. John's Town Center. This amazing offer ends August 31st. Shop local. Shop Beards.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Big personalities, bold opinions. Lunch just got louder. Josie, Matt, and Leon are XL Prime Time from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Any questions? Yeah, when's lunch?
Noon to 2 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pool, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Hi, it's Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
I really did enjoy my time at Harrell & Harrell today for our football kickoff luncheon. Appreciate Holt and company having me out there. Great people, great team, and they will take great care of you. Hopefully you won't need them. Hopefully you don't get injured, but life does happen. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. Kind of a bloated injury report all of a sudden. Travis Hunter with an upper body injury. Anton Harrison and Chuma Edoga did not practice as well for the Jaguars. Concern level.
Yeah, I'm hoping, again, you don't play for a while. I mean, you've got a game Sunday that you may or may not play starters in. You've got a game a week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow that you may or may not play starters in. You got to practice next week, and then you got 2 weeks in between. So you're still 3 weeks from a game. So, I have no idea the seriousness, Hayes, of those injuries. But no, not yet. Not yet for me. I don't sense, and I could be wrong, I don't sense that they've had one of these yet that, oh boy, that's a big one. I don't sense that there's a big one of players of significance down for a long time. They might have happened. I just don't know it. But I don't sense that.
Liam Cohen met with reporters after practice and said he hasn't decided on starters yet for the Saints. Does that surprise you? And where do you think the head coach is what do you think he's grappling with?
Yeah, the fact that he hasn't decided yet means along the line he was thinking about playing him. Because if you weren't going to play him all along, you'd have said that. So the fact that, and I'm guessing, I don't know this, but I'm guessing, Hayes, that he would probably like to play them a little, but that the injury thing has got him thinking twice maybe. And again, I don't know. But that would be my guess, is that if he could play him a little bit, he would like to get him out there, even if it's for a series like it was last week. I would think if everything else was the same, I don't think it would bother him to get them out there for a little bit.
Liam Cohen did talk about that offensive line and all the variety of lineups that we saw in Thursday's scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it's just giving people opportunities to see what they can do with each group, and also filling in and making sure that we're able to finish the scrimmage and it's not a mess. So, I thought that Fred and Wyatt specifically, Makari bounced around, but they all had moments, and they've all been able to do some positive things. But we got to remain like the consistency of that, whether it's the swing tackle or whomever it is. Consistency is, as you guys know, the key. And it's one thing to have splash plays or you dump somebody, but then we, have an MA the next play. Like, that's too much of a roller coaster for offensive line play at times. So I was pleased with the guys being able to step up and take extra reps, especially when those two guys went down.
And to your point earlier, Hayes, I think it seems clear to me, just from what you hear Liam and others say, that they're still trying to find that group. They're still trying to figure out who's where in that group. If not, you wouldn't see guys move around a lot. You don't see guys move around at receiver. You don't see guys move around at defensive end or middle linebacker. So, and that's okay. That means they're trying to get it right. I will applaud them. The offensive line was not very good last year. And for that reason, they went out and got a bunch of guys. They got McCary. They got Chuba Udoga. They got Wyatt Milam. They got Fred Johnson. They went out and got a bunch of guys to try and make that. They went out and got Monheim. That's 5 new guys, all of whom are going to be on the team, I think. So that means they understood, Hayes, the importance of that group's got to get better. That group's got to get more physical. So it's not really a surprise if you think about it. If you went and brought in 5 new guys, 2 in the draft, 3 in free agency, all of whom have a pretty good chance to be on the team, it's not a surprise then that you haven't settled on your 5 yet.
In terms of the ground game, running back Travis Etienne also met with reporters after practice today and was asked how his role has expanded in Liam Cohen's scheme.
It just expanded. It's like he's using me as a playmaker. He just let me go out there and just do what I do best. Get the ball in my hands, be in space, make guys miss, go out there, score touchdowns, and just using my strength as a strength and building my weaknesses. And I feel like that's what I love. And just moving around, I feel like I like that because like now we have all our threats on the field at one time. You got to watch out for all the guys, and obviously they're going to have eyes for me. So somebody else getting the ball or me just doing different things, we're not predictable. I feel like that's going to be really big for us moving down the line because at some point in the season it'll come down to just executing. And I feel like with him moving me different places and him giving me the ball, I feel like I'm never going to be out of the game. I'm always going to be in the game and be able to make plays and be a spark for the team.
I think he's had a good camp. I think Travis Etienne came here knowing he needed to have a good camp. Tank Bigsby's a good player. They drafted 2 running backs they like. I think he came here convicted and committed to having a good camp. I think Travis has been very good, not good, very good in this camp.
The communication leader in the secondary could very well be Eric Murray, the free agent addition from Houston, and an older player who's played a lot of ball in the NFL. He was asked about helping the younger players in the secondary.
Just getting guys to do the right thing every time instead of just, trying to freelance and do their own things. Like, that's not a product of good defense. Good defenses are disciplined. They communicate, and then they fly around, lastly. So just really tapping in with guys and letting them know, like, hey, doing the right thing is cool sometimes, so.
You know what? I think it's an underplayed or underdiscussed conversation, Hayes, but I think Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, in conjunction with Foye Oluokun, they've brought some veteran leadership to that defense. I believe that. I think they'll be better defensively because they've got guys back there who can lead. I liked what he said. Do the right thing. Be in the right spot. Make the right plays. Eric Murray and Jordan Lewis have helped us already have made a difference with that defensive collection of players. I believe that.
Without a doubt. Let's get to around the NFL. A couple of games going on tonight. We'll have Titans at Falcons, so that'll be a good one to monitor. And Chiefs then go to Seahawks in the nightcap.
Yeah, I don't know which one's on NFL Network. Maybe both.
I would think both because they're staggered. One's a 7, one's a 10.
I look forward to watching them. I do. And the closer you get to the season, you're not going to see starters very often. But we crave football the way we do, just craving it the way we do. I'm excited. I'm excited about why. I'll watch one. Who am I kidding? Of course, I'm not going to be awake from the 10 o'clock game, but I'll watch them tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
In terms of the rest of the AFC South, the Panthers go to Houston to face the Texans tomorrow, and the Packers are at the Colts, and we've got a Frangie fist pump. So has it been a good day for the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Where's Taylor Doll? Is she here? Is Taylor left yet?
So the bullpen didn't blow it?
3-2 final.
How about that?
Win. It just gets boring after a while. Okay, good. Sorry.
Well done.
Sorry, my fist pump bothers you.
No problem.
Please continue with you. These headlines were outstanding, and I messed them up, so please continue.
No. You're all good. Let's get it to golf. Robert McIntyre is dominating the BMW Championship at 14 under to lead by 5. He has gone 62-64 to start. Scotty Scheffler, though, is hot. He has gotten it to 9 under.
Of course he has.
Through 13. So 5 back, but still some golf to play, and he's 5 under for the day. Tommy Fleetwood done for today at 6 under heading into the weekend as he gets in position for his latest choke. And Rory McIlroy 2 under through 13.
That's cold. That's cold, but probably true. I got to tell you, so yesterday we got off at 4, right? We had the early day. So I had a couple errands to run, walked the dog the whole bit. My wife's out of town. She's coming back today. So I turned on the golf about 5:30 or 6. They had a rain delay. So I watched it on Golf Network, and they showed the end until the end. Well, then they went to the amateur, the USAM. Did you watch any of this?
I did not.
They went to the USAM, which is match play, and it's in San Francisco at the Olympic Club. So they go till 11 o'clock at night, and I watched Miles Russell, the Jacksonville kid. Boy, what a joy! What a joy! I mean, he's one of the best amateurs in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's 16 years. You know, he's 16 years old.
Yeah.
I've seen Miles at our club practicing. He used to play out of Jack's Golf. Now he plays out of Atlantic Beach. But I've seen him even this year, just out there chipping. He's really thin.
He's a lefty, right?
He's a lefty. But JJ, I watched yesterday, and I watched his match. What a joy to watch! He was by the way, he was the 3rd seed in the U.S. Amateur.
Wow.
He was seeded 3rd, and I don't follow this very closely. Of the top 8, because they're all good. I mean, the 17th seed's really good too. Of the top 8 seeds, he's the only guy that made the final 8.
Wow.
He's the only guy. And I mean, what a joy to watch Miles Russell. And I know a lot of people know him and have watched it. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it was my first time to really watch him. What a wonderful player, a left-hander. He's 16 years old from Jacksonville. And so I just happened to have it on.
Going to Florida State.
Yeah, going to FSU. So I just happened to have it on. It was what a joy to watch Miles Russell. I assume he'll be playing tonight, and it's going to be on TV. I'm going to turn it on.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Absolutely. Best of luck to him. Speaking of Scotty Scheffler making that run, as we talked about, he also continued to show his comedic chops, Frank. We loved him in Happy Gilmore too. Well, he was asked an interesting question by Associated Press golf writer Doug Ferguson today, and you're going to enjoy this clip.
Whoever wins the FedEx Cup next week, is that the season-long champion? Could be someone like Patrick Hanley, for example, which not to dog on Patrick.
I mean, we're just gonna name guys now, Doug. I mean, my goodness.
Is that thing on?
Test really. No, I think. I think when you look at the FedEx Cup, I think it's a greater discussion. And like, if you're gonna have a true season-long race, like a truly the best player every year wins, it's odds are it's not going to come to that interesting of a conclusion in most years.
Yeah, really funny moment.
And I know,
Patrick.
Yeah. And you know Ferg.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
I've known Ferg forever. I've known Fergie since he lives here.
Yeah.
Doug Ferguson lives in Jacksonville, but travels all over. He does a great job covering golf for the Associated Press. Here's what he's saying.
Just going to name names?
Yeah, right. Let me translate for you, okay? Scotty Scheffler's the champion. I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins next week in Atlanta, okay?
Yeah.
He didn't want to say that, but that's kind of what he said. Yeah. Kind of what he said. If I don't win next week, you think I'm not the player of the year for crying out loud?
Do you guys think they should switch it back to like just the money list or the points list?
I like the Tour Championship,
I do too.
But it's always going to be flawed.
Yeah,
I mean, it just is.
You have to understand what it is.
Yeah,
you have
and there's just no real advantage you can give the golfers that have had the best year. And the scoring thing didn't make sense. None of them liked it. So
they don't like giving out 2 trophies.
Yeah, it's imperfect, but I like that they have
right. And listen, I applaud them for this. All these golf tournaments are finding ways to make their event more interesting. That's why the enhanced or elevated events came along. And if Live forced that, well, good for them. And that's why we'll all watch next week. We all know who the player of the year is. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow and Sunday in Baltimore or Owings Mills, and it doesn't matter what happens at Eastlake. We know who the player of the year is. We all do.
Absolutely. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. Today we pay tribute to the King, as tomorrow is the 48th anniversary of Elvis Presley's death.
How about that?
He was 42 years old. Elvis received the Grammy for Lifetime Achievement at 36 years old. He sold over 500 million records worldwide. This is Hound Dog.
You know, Hayes, he might be the greatest musical act of all time.
Without a doubt.
Musical act. Might be the greatest musical act ever. He really was.
And imagine if he'd been, he was, lived to be into his 80s, the other music that he would have produced.
No question. Well done. Very
Thank
nice. We'll take a break. Pete Prisco at about 5:15. When we come back, we've got a few things to cover. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Dan Hicken.
What is wrong with you?
Jeff Prosser.
What do you mean what's wrong with you?
Dan versus Jeff.
No, what's wrong with you? No, what's wrong with you?
They are The Drill.
This is an awkward conversation. Why?
Mornings on 1010XL.
We're brothers from New Hampshire.
Frank
Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Hello. The Checkmate Coatings phone line has you covered from the floor up. From tough sports topics to strong surfaces, Checkmate Coatings is your floor's missing piece and your connection to the sports world on 1010XL.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there. And the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference, because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hicken here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air. Some news out of Gators camp. Defensive lineman Caleb Banks is being sidelined with a lower leg injury and is currently in a walking boot. Banks' injury isn't thought to be serious as he's considered day-to-day. It's day 2 of the BMW Championship, the last PGA Tour event before the Tour Championship next weekend. Robert McIntyre has the lead, currently at 14 under, with a 5-shot lead over world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. It's 94 degrees at 5:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010 10XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on the Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
All right, Pete Prisco right around the corner. We do want to thank our friends from Big Chief Tire Company with 6 locations on the First Coast, 2 on the west side. The south side's on Phillips Highway. The Orange Park location, the north side location, and the newest one is in Mandarin on State Road 13. Fantastic location. If you're looking for tires, automotive service, brakes, or the like, a place to go. Oil changes, all of it. Big Chief Tire. Over 60 years, by the way. They've been doing it right. Big Chief Tire, I'm telling you, that's the name to know if something's the matter with your car. You really love dealing with those folks. Josh and the folks at Phillips Highway, they're so nice. It's just a really, really good group. So head to Big Chief Tire if you get an opportunity to. You'll be awfully glad you did. Frangie and Carline here. JJ LaSelva. Pete Prisco waits in about 7 minutes. I went and hung out with Taylor during the break, I'll tell you.
How did that go?
Well, we're friends.
Yeah.
You know what you do with your friends? You share fellowship. So
what did you share?
Fellowship.
Nice.
Fellowship. A fellowship, scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You updated her?
I did.
Okay, that's good.
The crazy thing she knew.
You had breaking news? But she knew it.
And wouldn't it have been irresponsible of me if there was news that would affect her and I didn't share it?
Absolutely.
I mean, first of all, there's a word called accountability,
right,
that I think matters in the world.
There's a moral imperative to that.
There's no question. So, as a friend,
there she is right now.
She's so unflappable. She just looks, she just kind of raised her eyebrows,
Yeah.
So the crazy thing was, Taylor kind of knew I was coming. So
is that right?
Yeah, go figure. How would you have predicted that?
She sniffed that one out.
She probably did sniff that one out when the Pirates beat the Cubs. We're going to get the Pete Prisco Talk to NFL coming up in just a bit. I'm a little nervous. You talked about the injuries on the Jaguar front. I'm getting a little nervous about these injuries on the Florida Gator front. And look, I know there's the Long Island team is not very good. I wouldn't mind having guys back for South Florida. Florida, USF isn't Long Island. I don't think they're going to go to Gainesville and beat Florida. But Lagway and Dallas Wilson and now Caleb Banks and a few other guys. It's starting to stack up a little bit, I think.
I think it is. And you worry just about the lost reps of key guys like that, particularly the younger guys. Caleb Banks has played a lot of football, but, certainly Dallas Wilson's a true freshman. DJ Lagway is a true sophomore. And, you worry about, there's a reason why you practice as many times as you practice before the first game. Those reps are critical. And if you're not getting them, the players at, other schools that you're competing with, they are getting them. And so I think it really helps Florida this year that they don't open with Utah or Miami, that they've got a total gimme in the opener. And then to your point, in the second game, USF is going to go to Gainesville feeling like we can make this a fourth quarter game. And they can if Florida doesn't play well. But I really don't think USF can beat Florida.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think USF's going to win that game.
Yeah, so they could push Florida,
right,
but I don't think they can beat Florida. And so you really have got you do have a couple extra weeks to play with. But to your point, your third game is a 10 out of 10 on the difficulty scale because of the venue and because of the team that you're playing and the rivalry involved in it. So when they go to LSU, you don't want guys making their season debuts. Now, Caleb Banks can probably get away with that, but I doubt Lagway or Dallas Wilson can and play well. I mean, they could play, but can they play well and be in sync if, that's their season debut and they're going against defenders that have a couple games under their belt, including a trip to Clemson? So it is a concern. Now again, if next week Lagway is full throttle and Dallas Wilson comes back and Caleb Banks, I mean, they've been fortunate, knock on wood, to this point, that it doesn't feel like anything that has been sustained is season ending. But absolutely, it's a concern. One thing that might help is I would imagine they're pretty much done with scrimmages and massive contact because they're even closer to the opener than the Jaguars are.
Right. By the way, speaking of college football, tip of the cap to Mike Norvell. FSU's been kind of under the radar, out of the spotlight in large part because we don't know what they're going to be because we don't know any of their players. but they just flipped the best linebacker in the country. He was going to go to Ole Miss. Isaiah Williams.
Boy, he had a crazy story.
I don't know. Tell the story.
So he's been committed, I want to say, to Louisville, Florida, Florida State, Ole Miss.
And back to FSU.
And Florida State.
Okay.
So, I mean, if it holds, it's a fantastic addition.
It's a great get.
If he holds, but he's got to hold for 4 more months, and I mean he's committed 5 different times. So yes, he's talented.
Almost like he hasn't committed anywhere.
Correct, and it's almost like he's being handed money to commit.
Yes.
And and then saying, you know what, that school gave me $5,000. Let's see what this school will give me to commit.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much stock you can put in it because he's already done this several times.
But a great get for the Noles
if he stays in the class, absolutely great get.
My friend David Sturt, who used to write for who started Gator Bait and taught a sports writing class when I was a student at Florida, had the best line ever. He said, "Verbal commitments aren't worth the paper they aren't written on."
Yeah.
You know that, and he's right. He really is right. You never know until you sign something. Hey, now it doesn't even matter if you sign. I mean, I'm sure Oregon's saying even the signing doesn't matter. We had Dallas Wilson.
That's a good
He
point.
signed, so we'll see. Anyway, good news for the Noles if that helps. I will say this. I find myself more intrigued, and we got a lot of time to talk about it, with that FSU-Alabama game than I have been.
I'm starting to feel better about that FSU can maybe at least push them.
Yeah, because I think FSU, there seems to be a quiet confidence, whether it's legit or not, coming out of there. And maybe they're just holding on to hope because that's all they've got after a miserable season. But there seems to be, it's a lot of older guys, a lot of those 23-year-olds, which you win with if they play together. And Alabama's, Ty Simpson is, we'll see. Ty Simpson's had a lot of chances to win the Alabama job, has never done it.
Yeah. Part of my
and it's in Tallahassee.
Part of, I think, my rising confidence that might be a game is it doesn't seem like Alabama fans are overly excited about Simpson or DeBoer or the team.
Not yet.
And they did go to Vandy last year and lose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can go to Vandy and lose, the next season you can absolutely go to Doak Campbell and lose the opener.
Yeah, so I find myself more intrigued. You're the same place, it sounds like. Found myself more intrigued with that game than I have.
I still would probably take Bama and give the points.
What's the points?
Last I saw was, 14.5?
I'd still give the points. I still think I would still take Alabama minus 14, but I'm intrigued with the game more.
I am too, and I'm finding it that I don't think it's where by half it's going to be 27-3 and over.
But I find that if Alabama wins by 14, it's 42-28 with a late score, not 55-10. And I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see. Let's take a break. Let's get it back to NFL talk. Pete Prisco waits on the other side. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL's Hayes Carline represents you in the locker room.
So you got to up your game.
Interview persons of interest so you'll have the information you need to get ready for game day.
Time to put on your game face.
Open by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Get tips from PGA pros on Brunch with the Tour with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it. they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and book your space today.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Has any Major League Baseball player ever hit 2 grand slams in the same inning?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Fernando Tatis of the Cardinals hit 2 grand slams in the same inning in 1999. Both came off the same pitcher, Chan Ho Park of the Dodgers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On the Frangie Show.
All right, we do thank our friends from Showtime. Excuse me, I got a cold here. Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles, they do a terrific job. Located on Phillips Highway at the end of Shad Road. If you're a collector, I don't care what team it is you're collecting for, nobody does a better job than Showtime. Pete joins us from CBSSports.com. Pete, how you doing, buddy?
You're going to have to get somebody out of the bullpen for the game on Sunday?
I think I'll be fine for the game on Sunday. I'm just a little scratchy. Hey, what did you think last week? The Jags and the Steelers. You didn't see a whole lot from the starters, but you stayed in touch. Anything jump off the page for you?
Well, I love the rookie running back, both of them actually.
Right.
But I really like Tootin. I think Tootin's got something that the other guys don't have. I mean, he's got the home run speed, but more than that, the ability to put his foot in the ground and go the other way. And you saw it on the one run for I think it was like a 6-yard run where near midfield or the 40 somewhere in there where he popped it and went to the left. That's what the other two don't do, and I think that changes how you look at the whole projection of that running back room. And I really do believe he is a special runner. I love them coming out. He's got the home run speed, but more than that, he's got the ability to make people miss with and be able to cut back against the grain in the hole. Frank, you probably watched the tape, but there was a play early in the game where Etienne had a chance to cut to the right when Harrison is dry blocking his guy, and he ran right into him. So I think Tootin, as the season moves on, I don't know how quick it'll happen, but he's the guy they keep an eye on.
So what would you do with would keep 4, and how would you divvy it up in terms of the touches for week 1?
It depends on A, is he ready to play, but B, what is out there offering, for any of those backs. If somebody wants Bigsby, if somebody wants Etienne, what are you offering me? If somebody offers me a head-up defensive lineman, a defensive tackle for one of those backs, I would consider that in a minute. So I think those are the factors in it. If you don't deal one of them, then I think you sit there and you say, hey, I'll go in and play with 4 to start the season. Then if somebody, back goes down somewhere in week 1, week 2, then maybe somebody wants to make a move. So I think you have options available to you because I think, Allen can catch the ball out of the backfield, could be a big factor in your passing game. Tootin can run between the tackles, and Bigsby's a pounder, and ETN can do a lot of different things. But I don't know if there's a great back there. So they might open the season with 4 and then see what happens.
Pete, what do you think about the offensive line? As we went into camp, our expectations were Walker Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, McCary, and Anton Harrison. That's changed a little only because some guys have been out. Chuma Edoga has played very well at right guard. How do you see that line? How do you see that thing playing out? What are your thoughts on that group?
I think it's still being played out, to be honest with you, Frank. I don't think they've settled on anything. I mean, I think Hainsey's kind of settled into the center. The rest of that stuff is still up for grabs. I thought, in watching the tape, I thought Monheim was really good at left guard. I mean, he was, to me, I looked at him, I thought he was physical, he was tough in the run game. He needs to hold his blocks a little longer. This isn't, college football, where you get your guy, you got to finish him. And he had a little problem with finishing him, but I thought he was physical in the run game, and I thought he'd be a backup center, but he might be in play at guard. Milam had moments where he did some good things at right tackle and struggled a little bit, play versus play, but that's consistency. So I think there's competition there, and I think that's a good thing. They'll settle on the best 5. I mean, you got some flexibility, and like you mentioned, some guys are hurt, and it might open the door for some other guys.
You mentioned maybe making a deal for a defensive tackle. What's the word around the league on Christian Wilkins? Is he healthy?
That's the question. And here's the other part of that is you put him on the roster in week 1, you pay him. So, teams might wait and see what's happening. But I don't think he's all the way healthy. He might be healthy in a month. But when he is on the field, he's a power player in the middle, man. He can handle things. He's a good guy to have on your team. And, all the other stuff you hear, who knows. But as from a football standpoint, I mean, he could help that team, that's for sure.
And isn't that really the position of all the positions out there, Pete? Isn't defensive? Look, they'll figure out offensive line. They've got a lot of people to choose from. They'll figure out will linebacker. If it's not Devin Lloyd, it'll be Ventrell Miller. It'll be Kaiser. It'll be whoever. They've got some options. Isn't defensive tackle the one thing that's got them scratching their head a bit? Wouldn't you guess?
Well, particularly when Armstead and Mason Smith are practicing. I mean, they're coming back, but they've missed a lot of time. And you heard him today. He said, Mason Smith's far away from being ready to play from game shape. So, football shape and being in shape are 2 different things. So, yeah, it's definitely a major concern. And they need to be better in there. They need Armstead back. They need Smith back. And they need Smith to be a force. I mean, they need him to – of all the guys on this team, I said this the other day, of all the guys on this team, he's the guy that needs to take the big jump and become a factor in the middle of that defense. If he doesn't, they got major problems in there.
Were you surprised the coverage was so soft against Pittsburgh?
They did a lot of staring at each other. And I said this the other night when we did the show on Monday with Austin Lane. I said, in watching that tape, I can't tell you how many different times I saw guys looking at each other to try and guess what the defense was going to be. They just seemed lost when it came to that, and that led to some off coverage, some busted coverage, and some bad coverage. And I think that's why he came back on Monday and had them working on that because it was such a problem in that game. And it's been a problem. I mean, it was a problem last year with guys not getting lined up and looking around and having bust in the secondary. So they got to tighten that up. That'll be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I almost sense that it's almost in a weird way good that it happened then. I mean, that's if your communication breaks down, don't break down 2 games into the regular season. Break down now so you can work on it a bit. So we'll see if it.
You know what though, Frank? Here's the concern about that is it was vanilla as vanilla can be.
Yeah.
I mean, Campanelli's going to throw a bunch of different looks at everybody, and it was as vanilla can be, and they still were having communication bust. That's the concern.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let's go around the league a little bit, Pete. From week 1 in the preseason, anybody grab you? Anything surprise you? Your thoughts on the first week of the preseason of the NFL or the NFL?
The rookie quarterbacks did some good things. I thought Dart did some good stuff in New York. Shador Sanders when he played, but again, it's hard to evaluate. Cam Ward made a couple throws, made one terrible throw. It should have been an interception. We've been looking at it a different light, but it's so hard to evaluate these young players because they're playing against guys who probably aren't going to be in the league, and they're playing against a lot of vanilla defenses. So it's a tough evaluation. But I thought Dart handled himself very well. I thought Shedeur Sanders handled himself very well, and we know Cam Ward's going to. Because he's such a guy that, first guy in, last guy out. So I think all the rookies, Chuck did some nice things, made a couple nice throws. I think the rookie quarterbacks did some good stuff.
What's the plan? What will be the plan in New York? I mean, obviously Russell Wilson's long in the tooth. Jameis has become a journeyman backup, but still can do things. Is Dart the third guy? Do they elevate him? Could he win the job at any point? What's their plan?
I think they're going to go into the season thinking, well, we can win some games with our defensive line getting after the quarterback and a veteran quarterback. So I think Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. Personally, I get on with it. I mean, if you drafted Dart, you think he's the guy, get on with it and find out if he is the guy. The sooner you find that out, the better it is for the organization. That's easy for us to say, but when you're in that building and he might not be all the way ready, and you got Russell Wilson who is a little bit, been around and is ready, and you think you might be able to compete a little bit with your defensive line getting after the quarterback, I think you lean more towards that. But 4 weeks in, if they're 1-3 or 2 or 0, then I think you look at Jackson Dart and you say, we got to get on with this.
Do you think that the Jaguars should play starters Sunday? And sort of what's your just general vibe on whether coaches should play starters in the second week of the preseason?
A little bit, maybe. I think you got to play football, and particularly when you're a group trying to come together. I think you got to play. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 2 quarters, but you get some hitting in there. If they don't, they're certainly not going to play in the third preseason game. So if they're not going to play in the third preseason game, then you got to do something in this one. Now, I don't think they're going to play in the third one, but now some teams have started playing guys in the third preseason game because they don't want to take the time off. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. But I think between now and the regular season, those starters need to play some snaps.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because if you don't tackle, you don't hit. But that means you go a month without doing any of that. And so and based on the reports coming out, and you guys were there on that scrimmage yesterday, that offense needs to play.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think it's unlikely next week because I think you'll get a lot of that work in the joint practice, and it's the only joint practice they will have. So I think you will. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they play. And back to some other teams around the league. What's going to happen in Indianapolis with AR, and how good will Minnesota be with its rookie quarterback? I mean, young quarterbacks are everywhere, right? How good's McCarthy? Will Anthony Richardson win that job? Where are we headed in some of those teams, Pete?
If you're the Colts, you got to play Anthony Richardson. I mean, we know there's going to be inconsistency there, and great throw one day and awful throw the next on the same play. That's just who he is. But he's got to figure that out. Are you going anywhere for the future of the organization with Daniel Jones? No. Are you going somewhere with Anthony Richardson? Maybe. And you got to find that out. When he's been banged up in his career. He's more dedicated. You hear that all the time. And, Denny Thompson works with him. I'm sure he would be the first one to tell you that. So, yeah, I think you got to – I would lean to play Anthony Richardson just to see what you have in him. And it's not like the Colts are contending for a Super Bowl, so find out what he is. As far as McCarthy, that's a great situation. He's got a great head coach. He's got a good quarterback coach. He's got great receivers around him and an upgraded offensive line. So go do what you need to do. The reports out of there haven't been great. And so, there's some concern in the organization from what I hear, talking to people around the league, about the accuracy. And it was a problem for him at Michigan. You go back to last week, his opening play of the game in the preseason game was he threw an out route to Addison. You look at the stat sheet, it says completion. But it was way behind Addison. Addison reached behind him to grab it. That can't happen. So you got to be better with his accuracy.
What do you think of the Texans?
That's a hard team for me to judge. It really is. Because I assume C.J. Stroud's not going to play as poorly as he did last year. I think we're going to get more of what we saw the year before. But we talk about the Jaguars' offensive line. Have the Texans upgraded their offensive line to the point that they don't need to be worried about it? Because they were a disaster last year up front. Cam Robinson's the left tackle. He's going to be, but he's banged up. The right tackle's a major question mark. They have some issues on the interior. So I think when you look at the Texans, we automatically assume Stroud's going to get back to where he was. If the line isn't protecting him which they didn't do last year, then I think that's going to be a problem. They should be really good on defense. I think when you look at the secondary with the pass rushers. That's usually a good combination. But I worry about their offense in terms of what the offensive line can do.
Pete, final question. We'll see the Saints on Sunday in New Orleans. Well, how will they be? Well, I mean, they got a first-year coach too. Even, and look, Spencer Rattler's not a very good quarterback. I guess he's their guy. Tyler Shuck played a bunch last week. Will they be? What will we see when we see them?
Look, offensively, they're young on the offensive line. They got some good talent there, but it's going to be some growing pains. And it's just a quarterback league, and they don't have a great quarterback. I worry about that offense. And defensively, age has crept in. Cam Jordan's not a kid anymore. DeMario Davis isn't a kid anymore. The Badger's not there, but they're not young, and I don't know how good they are on defense. So I'm first-time head coach. That's always another concern. So I think they're going to be a bad team.
Will he be good?
5 victories.
Will Kellen Moore be any good as a coach? Did you like him in the quarterback cycle?
I mean, again, Frank, as a coordinator, he did a nice job at times. I questioned some of the stuff he did, but you don't know how they're going to handle the room. That's always the unknown. Everybody always asks me, is he going to be a good head coach? You think he might be,
right,
but you don't know. Liam Cohn's done a nice job handling himself in the off season, but if they're 1-2, how does he adjust to that? How does he handle? Does he panic and go try and fix the offense? And does Ben Johnson do the same thing in Chicago? What if the Bears are 1-2 and Caleb Williams is struggling? Does Ben Johnson lock himself in a room and say, look, I got to fix this offense? When the reality is he's got to handle the whole big picture. And so that's the concern for these young coaches.
A lot of coaches coaching for the first time, no question about it. Pete Prisco checking in from CBSSports.com. As always, brought to you by Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Thank you, Pete.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, we'll take a break. More in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Find out what new golf equipment could help your game.
Well, I'm just a humble golf pro. Could I help you?
Get great golf tips and talk from the experts on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Got to figure out why I'm still shaking the ball.
Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We do thank our friends from Big Chief Tire Company with 6 locations on the First Coast, Orange Park and Mandarin, the 2 most recent additions to the family. Before that, 2 on the west side, the north side, and the south side. If you need tires, automotive service, oil changes, just people that will treat you right, man, they do a good job. Head there today. You'll be awfully glad that you did. Don't forget, by the way, tomorrow now, 3rd Saturday of the month, fantastic card shows at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. You want a great card show, now's the time to get over there. With football season right around the corner, they have the card shows tomorrow, and they are absolutely spectacular. That's a great reason to go to Showtime. There's never a bad reason, never a bad time to get to Showtime. But head to Showtime for their card shows. That is tomorrow from 9 to 4. All right. What's your final thought? Are we going to see starters or not?
I think so. I mean, I just think you almost have to play him. Now, again, you could try to eliminate Trevor. If you're not comfortable with the offensive line and the guys that are out, then if you're Liam Cohen, maybe you work on more of the ground game, short passing game, get the ball out of Trevor's hand quick. If you're worried about, pressure and protecting Trevor. But I think you got to play them. I mean, they've just looked lousy. I mean, all week, I think. I mean, and it started with the Steelers game. I mean, Monday they didn't look lousy, but he basically had to have a Pop Warner practice because they didn't know where to line up, and they didn't know how to, stay in formation and not jump. So Monday you didn't get much out of that other than just, intro to football 101. Yeah, Tuesday was fine. Off Wednesday, and then Thursday was, I thought, very disappointing. I mean, not everything, but enough of the focus and concentration lapses that with the drops and the penalties and things like that. Like, I think you got to play the starters on defense because of how bad it looked against Pittsburgh. Like, they've got to go out there and get some confidence that they know where to line up. They know what's expected in terms of the cushion that they're giving. They know in terms of the communication in the scheme of who to cover. Like, I think they need to go out there and have a good series or 2, and then they can get off the field. But I think they need that confidence boost. And offensively, I mean, again, you've got to find your 5 on the offensive line. So, you're still trying to create the running back hierarchy of what that's going to look like 1 through 4. And again, I just think there's obviously there's an injury risk, but I think there's way more to be gained by playing when you've had kind of a rough week than by resting and allowing that, dysfunction's too strong, but allowing that the mistakes that they're making, allowing it to sort of pass without taking advantage of an opportunity to get out there in a competitive situation on the road against another team and at least get some good work in. So I wouldn't play him for a half. I wouldn't play him that long, but I would play them at least for a quarter and a half so that they get some sort of rhythm and hopefully some confidence.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Hey, I want to get to a story I saw today. I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you see the survey about NFL retirees?
I haven't read it. I did see it. It was from 1988 for players that retired in 88.
They tried to get a hold of every player who played in that season, and they got a hold of a lot of them. And
yeah, it's like 566, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So it was really 546.
Oh, okay.
And they're at average age of 62 now. They asked them, look, you play in the NFL, it's brutal. Not a high percentage, but a high percentage had some sort of medical ailment. At least almost all the ex-players had some sort of pain within the last 3 months. 15% of the players said a doctor had diagnosed them with dementia. Half the players said they felt depressed in the last 12 months. 6 to 10 players reported living with some sort of a disability. 6 out of 10, by the way. Yet, it's amazing that 9 out of 10 of these players said they'd do it again in a minute. Isn't that it? 9 out of 10 said if you could do it over again and not play NFL football and therefore not be dealing with this, would you? They said 9 out of 10 said we would do it again because of what being an NFL player meant for them. Number one, the money they made, but also the notoriety. Interesting story, isn't it?
It is. And again, there's a competitiveness to a pro athlete, and I think especially an NFL athlete, because of the physical nature of the game and because of, really outside of the quarterback and running back and maybe receiver, a lot of these guys, there is really no glory to the position. I mean, there's no glory in being a guard.
Right.
There's very little glory in being a defensive tackle. But you're very critical to the team. And the team knows that. Their teammates and coaches know that. But the beating physically that you take, throughout the years playing the sport, particularly then where they didn't have the luxuries of today's athlete. I mean, this would have been an era of 2-a-days and a lot of preseason games and, get your bell rung, go right back in the game kind of thing. So it doesn't surprise me that they're dealing with a lot of medical ailments, but they love the competitive nature.
That's right.
That never dies. And those guys are just wired with a competitive streak that average Joes like us, it's hard to relate to that.
A lot of those guys, it was a childhood dream. It was a dream come true. Great competition and camaraderie. And one player diagnosed with early Alzheimer's said I would do it again. And which is really interesting. One player said, I'm going to quote this, playing football, I encountered people from different ethnicities, religious beliefs, achievements, and family units that gave me great perspectives on living. So the bottom line to this is, man, it's a tough afterlife. If you were an NFL football player, boy, it is a tough afterlife.
And if you retired in 1998, 88, you didn't really make that much money.
Yeah, and these guys played in 88. They might have played longer than that. But
I thought that was the year they retired.
No, I think it was all the guys that played that season.
Okay.
So some. But the point being, your point's a good one though. They weren't
nowadays. They're all getting paid pretty much.
But I can tell you, and kind of the reason I went to the story, I can tell you that players that I know that have played in the league, and I know I know a whole lot of them. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Wouldn't trade that moment for everything.
I've never met a player that said, if I could go back, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't trade. Players said they wouldn't trade it for anything. So and again, by the way, that doesn't make it any less physical. That doesn't make the afterlife that is so tragic less heartbreaking. And when you see someone go through it, but they're the people that played that. And by the way, I'm going to guess basketball and baseball and former golfers feel that way about their sport too. But there's something about this one, man,
right.
because the risk and the physicality and the brutality of it, the other sports aren't like this one.
I don't know if the story makes mention of this, but I'd be interested in knowing, like, of these 544, like how many have had to have knees replaced, hips replaced. You know what I mean? Like just
it has that in here.
Yeah, I'd be, because that's got to be incredibly high. I mean, you figure if the normal person probably is looking to do those sort of things in their, 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s, the guys that had long NFL careers, particularly in that era where the sports science was elementary compared to what it is today, I mean, I can't imagine. I'd be surprised if of those 544, there's more than 30 that haven't had a knee done or a hip or a shoulder, something of significance.
It even says, of those who wouldn't play again, one player listed a litany of surgeries, 2 hip replacements, 5 shoulder replacements, and 1 knee replacement. Quote, I can't catch with my grandson. I can't play the guitar or piano anymore. I can't go hiking. I can't do a thing physically. Another said, quote, football's been a blessing to me, but it's also been a curse in the long run. Sometimes I wish I had never played this dear sport that I love. The sport of football gave me so much, but it took even more from me in ways you can't explain unless you played yourself. So, which you would expect there to be a lot of that. But it's a brutal game because I think about it. I remember David Lamb, God rest his soul, my friend David Lamb, who we did radio with for so long, said one time, either he wrote it in the Times-Union or he said it on radio sometime in the 80s maybe. That would have been Times-Union, I guess. So, but the 80s, I think it was in the 80s. He said, one day we won't have football. It's too barbaric. I'll never forget that. He said, the day will come when we no longer have football because it's too barbaric. Well, we still have football, but they've certainly...
It's not the same.
They've certainly tried to make it far less barbaric. But I'll never forget that. David said, one day, he said, Frank, as much as you love football, one day we won't have it. And I've never forgotten that. Let's take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA released the 82-game schedule for all 30 teams on Thursday, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are the betting favorites to win the championship and repeat at plus 225. The Denver Nuggets, the second best odds of winning the title, they're plus 700. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks out of the Eastern Conference, both plus 800. The Houston Rockets out of the Western Conference, plus 850. The young Orlando Magic, plus 1,500 to win the NBA championship. The Los Angeles Lakers are plus 1,600. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, plus 225 to win the regular season MVP award. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, plus 250 to repeat. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
We've all seen great overtime games and thrilling finishes, but when it comes to having a big time, knowing when to say when is key. Budweiser reminds you to win the day and night by designating a driver. That's a victory every time.
Leonard Skinner is coming home, and they're bringing the Stars and Stripes. Celebrate Southern rock and American pride with Leonard Skinner rocks the red, white, and blue. It's a special night to support St. Michael's soldiers and the brave men and women of our armed forces.
Singing songs about
Saturday, November 8th at Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now, only at Ticketmaster. DailysPlace.com for details. Be there when Skinner rocks for those who serve.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, today on the program we talked about the trip to New Orleans. The Jaguars on the road. We'll be on the road tomorrow at middle of the day, somewhere thereabouts. We'll be playing at 1 o'clock on Sunday. We'll have it for you right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Jeff Lagerman and I, and Kai Stevens with us. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting on the road with the Jags.
Big steak in New Orleans?
You know, normally, yes. There's great food in New Orleans, so there's a lot of options.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if it's steak or do you go
I'm a
like
little under the weather, so I might hang in.
Okay.
We'll see. But there's all kinds. They'll drag me out. Who
You'll
am I
have to
kidding?
eat.
I'm a big right. You got to eat, right?
Yeah.
So I'm big talk. We'll find somewhere. Typically, the last time in New Orleans, we just went to Ruth's Chris and got a steak. But there's really good food. The food in New Orleans is fantastic.
Oh,
by the
it's
way.
the best thing about New Orleans.
It really is.
I would, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is. So the food's fantastic.
And that's not a slight. It's just fantastic.
I will tell you my funny New Orleans story. I told you this before. And by the way, as the cool down goes, we talked a bunch of Jaguars. Pete Prisco came on, talked to NFL, and a whole lot more. We talked about the Michigan case, and we really neither one of us can kind of believe how it ended. So in 2014 or so, whenever might have been the Gators' run to the Final Four, I think they went through. I think that was the year they went through New Orleans. I want to say that. I want to say they played there. It was somewhere thereabouts, and I covered all of that, and from 1010XL, I did shows from 1010XL, and Pat Dooley and I were there. I think that was the year. It was right around then. And I know that year they went to the Final Four, but anyway, we walked down Bourbon Street. Pat and I did. I had not been on Bourbon Street probably since the 90s. Okay, I probably hadn't been on Bourbon Street in 20 years. So we're walking down Bourbon Street, and I looked at Pat and go, "Did it always smell this bad?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, it always smelled this bad. But we were 25 and drunk. You know, When you're 25 and drunk, it smells different than what it does now when you're an adult just looking for a nice restaurant.
Right.
The world changes. But I mean, I've had some great times on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, it's not an appetizing smell.
No.
Yeah, if you're just going to, go to a restaurant. But yeah,
But the food's fantastic.
If you've had a few libations and you're just there to party, then you sort of block it
Now,
out.
are the restaurants like on Bourbon Street?
I mean, not
the
like,
good ones are not.
Yeah.
Okay. The best restaurants are all all around.
There's a couple good oyster places.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, but
so like
but
if
for the most
me
part,
as a 35-year-old went there and decided to have fun and go to restaurants and casino, I wouldn't have to actually go on Bourbon Street.
If you've never been,
not for your meals.
If you've never been,
but it's worth it to just.
you need to walk.
have to go.
You got to go to Bourbon.
Yeah,
Bourbon and Canal, and then walk down Bourbon.
Okay.
You got to take Canal to Bourbon and walk down. But you'd have to do it one time.
Yeah.
But no, it's probably not where you and your bride would hang out.
4 in the morning. Yeah.
It's probably not where you'd hang out. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the trip. Looking forward to the Jags and Saints, second of 3 preseason games. And my guess is, they're all guesses, My guess is you'll see the starters a bit Saturday, and we'll not see them in Miami a week from Saturday. That's me guessing, in large part because there is a joint practice next week in Miami. So my guess is you'll see him this week. You won't see him next week. I don't think you're going to see him a lot either way. Now, I could be wrong. They can hold him out this week and say next week in Miami on natural grass after they've had a little time to heal up. Maybe that's a better option. But I'm guessing because of the joint practices, you probably won't.
That's what I would think. I think that's the responsible way. I was actually surprised when Pete said that a lot of teams are now leaning towards maybe playing in that third preseason game. You're just too close to the regular season. Right. I mean, again, you're now where a rolled ankle could sideline. I'm not even talking high ankle sprain. Just a mild ankle, could really limit a player in week one. So, I just think that you have the joint practice. After that, shut it down and start getting these guys 100% for the Carolina Panthers.
All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, do you think the starters will play? What's your guess?
Yes, I've thought that all along. I'm just trying to figure out, is this the first time that Liam Cohen wasn't transparent, or does he legitimately not know? He was going to go take a look at the medicals and see where guys are.
Yeah,
he's been so honest.
Right, and number one, I think he's a really honest guy. Number two, what do you gain by not telling? I mean, it's not like you're in the game plan. You're trying to win the game, so there's no strategic advantage for them not knowing. I don't think he knows.
I wish we got him yesterday. He would have been raw. Yesterday after not a good scrimmage, particularly offensively. But he kind of toned that down today when we met with them, and that included the offensive line, where we were surprised to see Ed Oga out along with Harrison, and his concern level. He said it's really not there right now because there's still a ton of competition on the offensive line.
I don't sense, and I could be dead wrong, I don't sense there's a lot of major injuries yet. Maybe there's one or two that we don't know about, but I don't sense there's a lot. So we'll see what's coming up.
We're going to look at everything. I thought today was it was kind of a slow down day, kind of a light day, but I thought they got some good work in. The Travis Hunter situation was mysterious, and he clarified that after practice. Obviously, only a precaution with his upper body, but I hope they play, and I want to kind of get through it position group by position group. I think it's going to be some tough cuts here, and some players need to have a good effort coming up Sunday at 1, so we're going to do that. Also caught up with Antonio Johnson and Jordan Jefferson. We'll play that.
All right, all coming up tonight. So you'll hear all that on Rick Ballou as he goes into the night. That'll do it for our program. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. We'll see you next week.